Well, I'm Aubrey Clark. You all already know my name. But I'm a senior at the community school. I got here the middle of my sophomore year. I moved here from Indiana, so I'm not a native of Spokane at all. Whole new area that I got accustomed to when I moved here. I like art a lot. It's a good introduction piece. I like art. I really like watercolors. Jackie helped me get into those. They're really fun. And painting's also really fun. So that's just a little bit about me. Okay, well, we can see on the screen that it's loading. That's on purpose, because I'm going to talk about it a little bit. So I've moved quite a bit in my life, not all throughout it, but a bit, and it's led me to have patience more than anything in life, and I think that's a really big thing that you need to have going forward throughout it. And I feel like if you're patient enough, you kind of get that sense that you're going to get something at the end, you know, like you're waiting for that job offer, you know, just waiting to see if you got the job or not, or you're waiting to see that new movie that's coming out, or you're just waiting for something like dinner. Like, when's dinner going to be ready? I'm hungry. But in my case, it's a cake. This cake not only signifies as a treat of being patient, but also my learning. The bottom is school, K through 12, which I'm about to graduate from, which is why it's the base, because it's the most school you do consecutively, unless you get like a doctorate. But that's a lot of school after that, but that's a choice you can make. Not that I'm gonna do that, but I made school K through 12 the bottom, and throughout this I learned to not only be patient, but to be a leader. This past year, my leadership skills went up a lot. I was the leader for almost every project I was in, which was a lot of pressure, but it was good to learn because it'll help me with college. And the next path, the next kind of slice is college, which is a little smaller, but still important because I can go to college for how long I want to, really, as long as I have like the support and the money. But in college, I'm hoping to just branch out a bit more, learn more about me or about the world, really, because I'm kind of like stuck here, and I just want to learn more about it. And then the top one is my future. I'm not sure what's going to happen in my future. I might do more college, I might not, I don't know, but I'm really excited about it. But that's really just me as a learner, but as a person, I'm an artist. That is art that I've done. I learned how to do origami. It is very fun. I didn't know how good I would be at it until I joined the class, and I liked it a lot. And I'm a really good people person. I don't know why, but I seem to make friends like everywhere I go. It's kind of weird that I can just make friends easily, because I know people have a hard time doing that, and it's just, I don't have that problem, really. But next up is my pathway. So this is my first argument per se with college applications. I applied to a lot of colleges. These are just two of them, and I had to make a big decision between the two for kind of seeing what I would want to do. This one is from Ball State University. It is a college in Indiana. And the other one is from Eastern University, which is right there in Cheney, which is pretty close by. So I had to choose between the two, and I chose Eastern. So I'm going to be going to Eastern, and I want to become a teacher. I want to do grades K through 3. I want to work with smaller children rather than high schoolers, because they're kind of scary being in like a high school. Not my cup of tea, but I like little kids. I'm a certified babysitter, so I've kind of gotten to know kids growing up with having that kind of job, and it's just it made me realize what I wanted to do in life. I've also visited Eastern. This was from a project that we had this year. We got to visit the campus because we had some people from our class give a presentation. I was not one of those, but it was really nice visiting. And I'm hoping to visit again this summer so I can kind of like see the dorms a bit more, or like just see more of the campus, because I saw a lot of like the hit things, like the big buildings and like the library and the Panda Express that they have in the food court, which is really cool. I love Panda Express. But that was just really fun to go and see it, and I want to go and see it again this summer. I also learned how to do finances this year. So we had this like little adulting class in advisory, and Matthew was kind enough to show us how to do a finance sheet. So the pink is me, and that's not recent spending money. I haven't been spending that much money recently, but that was from when I made the spreadsheet. And the blue is for anybody else I would be accounting for to see how much we'd be spending all together. And it's cool because I got the 445 to come from the bottom to like switch up there. It's like this whole Excel sheet, like kind of cheat, so you don't have to punch it in every time, which was also really nice to learn because I'm going to need that if I ever have to make finance sheets. And then I'm also job searching a lot. I currently don't have a job. I've had a job before, but it was a lot of pressure during school from them, so I couldn't really handle it. But this is my resume. My mom helped me. Thank you, Mom. She's really good at making these, but I'm the one that really had her help me. I just needed help, which takes a lot to ask your parents for help sometimes. It's like a little bit pressure. But it has my education, my work experience, volunteer experience. There's more volunteer experience, but I couldn't fit the whole thing on because then you wouldn't be able to read it. So it was like a choice, which ones do I want to show and which ones do I not want to show. And to recap, oh, I forgot to mention this. I'm going to save money so I can get a car, because I don't have a car currently. I had one, but now I don't. I forgot to say that. But that's why there's a car on this slide. And then I'm going to go to Eastern and become a teacher, and then I'm going to graduate. So, go class of 2022.
A chance for the panel. If you want to ask clarifying questions or more probing questions, or just give feedback to Aubrey, delve a little deeper into where she's at and where she's going.
I'll kick us off.
Okay.
Great job.
Thank you.
With applying for jobs, and congratulations on deciding on Eastern. That's exciting. Have you looked at jobs on campus at all yet?
I haven't. I really just been focusing on ones near my house right now, because it'll just be easier saving money to not have to pay for so much gas currently while I'm living there. But I think when I do get on campus, I might look more or look around in Cheney for jobs.
Yeah. Are you going to live on campus? Or?
Yeah, I have to live on campus the first year. It's a rule.
Good. It's a great rule.
Yeah.
I agree. Even though you're not living there yet,
Yeah.
start looking for, this is my college admission counselor hat coming out.
Yeah.
Start looking for jobs now. A lot of incoming students don't know this, but you can apply early sometimes for the actual school year. So it's not that you get the job today and have to work tomorrow, but you might not have to start until September. And then you already have that secured, so you can just enjoy summer and not stress about not having a job come fall. And then I love that you're going to visit campus. Just go talk to people. College campuses are, college campuses are freakishly friendly. Everybody's going to say hi to you. So when you're visiting, even if you're just walking around, poking your head into offices and say, hi, I'm a new student, what do you do? And people won't talk to you for too long. So I'm excited you're planning on visiting. That's awesome. Yeah, no, great job. Keep doing the art. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, I can jump in. Very well done. I think I can see why you make friends quickly and easily. You were very disarming personality, and you just seem very genuine and sincere, and you're funny. So all those
Oh, thank you.
and I can totally see you teaching K through 3, and I would encourage you to, as you proceed in your career, to, the possibility of high school and older, it could be
Yeah,
there.
it could be there.
Yeah. Why teaching? What about teaching young students appeals to you?
I don't know. I just kind of always had that feeling. Like even when I was kind of little, I was like, oh, these teachers are so cool. Like I'm in 3rd grade and I'm like, oh my God, I love my teacher. I wish I could be like her, just feeling it. And it was like, I like classrooms a lot. Classrooms are fun. Decorating them, that's fun. All the cool things, different holidays, different themes. Sounds like fun.
That's an element. I let Aubrey decorate our classroom.
I did decorate the classroom. There's origami. I did decorate it.
My wife teaches 3rd grade, and she would be a resource to you if that was something.
Okay.
I wanted to piggyback on that because that's a really good point. Right now, people are leaving the teaching profession in droves. It is truly one of the hardest jobs you could ever dive into. And to hear sort of, you're like, no, this is going to be really cool. I just love that, and that's great. Is there something about the promise of teaching that draws you to it, or something sort of deeper than, hey, I love to build beautiful learning spaces, but is there more underneath that?
I don't know. I'm a big connection person.
Mm-hmm.
I make connections with people pretty easily, as you can see. I kind of made a connection with all of you for being here today. But I feel like if I have that connection with them and it's a good one, that the children will have like a good outlook on life, kind of. They'll have support that they need. If they come from like a bad home, I'll be like there and I can help them. Help them get help they need, or just be there to support them.
That's the kind of attitude that our kids need, so thank you. That's great.
My apologies for being late,
No,
so thank
it's
you
okay.
for letting me join your second half. But I just wanted to commend you. You're very articulate and you present yourself really well. And just like everyone's kind of shared, very honest and just open with who you are. And I think you have a really well kind of defined path for yourself. And I'm excited to see you just grow in Cheney and at Eastern. Something I would just encourage you, even to what Matt kind of offered and suggested about his wife maybe being resources, to take those opportunities to do informational interviews.
Yeah.
Kind of like just conversations about hearing, someone's life as maybe a K through 3 teacher. And yeah, asking them questions about what drew them to that job. What's hard about it? What are things that they might recommend to you? So that's something I just recommend as you kind of unpack this next chapter for yourself. So
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Aubrey, I'm going to ask you to elaborate a little bit on your growth.
My growth.
You alluded to it a bit in terms of the leadership roles that you assumed within groups this year.
Yeah.
But more than that, in the last couple of years, you really came into yourself, not just as a leader, but a collaborator and a learner. And you didn't focus on grades, and yet it emerged in that respect as well. But particularly, so we focus heavily on working in groups,
Yeah.
collaboratively coming up with products related to learning, and you grew to be absolutely exceptional in group after group, and you weren't somebody who was in the same group.
No.
You worked with anyone and everyone. I guess I'm asking you to speak a bit to that growth, both as a learner and particularly as a collaborator.
Well, when I moved here, I was pretty shy. I'm still kind of shy. Pretty nervous up here right now. But it's just, over time I learned to have my voice kind of, and then I learned my personality from like my friends, and I got to make friends that don't like disappear when you move, because that happened when I moved here. But working in groups is really nice though, because then you get to meet all these different people like different grades, different classes, different perspectives. I like seeing the different perspectives of people. Like, I might not agree with them, but I'm going to respect them, and I'm going to listen to them, and I'm going to help them if they need help. But it's just a big learning thing, kind of. I feel like throughout life you're always learning. It's just you learn something every day. Like I learned that these shoes are not really comfortable today. But it's just like a big learning thing. And I like TCS because of that, because it's all about being together and learning together, which is really nice. And I'm kind of sad to be leaving. Wish I had a full 4 years instead of like 2.5.
That reminded me that you mentioned at the beginning that you had been a leader on many projects, very different projects across
Yeah.
the month. I teach leadership, so this is a question I've always asked my students is, what do you think the #1 leadership skill, capacity, disposition, knowledge base that you applied across all these projects was? What you learn about leadership?
Well, in my case, I learned just to be polite and nice. That's a big part of me, is being nice. I'm not really a mean person, and I don't like being mean, so it fits. But when the leadership, I didn't really pick it. It just kind of happened. It picked me. So I was just kind of stuck with it. But then I learned, it was like, oh, okay, I can just do this. And then they'll start working with me. So like I can get them involved. Like I had a writing one, and that one was pretty fun. We got to write about Spokane because we read a book, The Cold Millions by Jess Walter. Is that who it's by? Jess Walter? Yeah. And it was a really good book. It was about Spokane in the 1920s. And then we all got into groups of 3. I had 2 other people with me, and we all took our own little thing we wanted to do. So I wrote about Peaceful Valley, and I got that done in like 3 days. So then I was like stuck working with my people, which was really nice, because then I could see how they write, and then I could see, well, you can change this, but it'll still sound like it's you writing it, but it'll just sound kind of better. Like just changing one word, or like an apostrophe or a period, no run-on sentences. We all know this. But yeah.
Cool. Good answer.
I have a question. We talked I don't know, a few weeks ago at the end of our, and you mentioned to me you were feeling super stressed about choosing between these 2 colleges.
Yeah.
And how did you how did you pick these 2? What was that?
It was a lot of thought. It is like opportunities, really. So like the opportunity of staying here, like, This is a really hard question, Jackie. Hold on.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're okay. I just gotta think a second.
Was it the added, did it seem far away to you, or?
It's close but far away, Like it's close in here but far away, actually. Like, it's like all the way across the country. I'm here, it's here. But, I don't know, it just really spoke to me. I like, yeah, just the program and everything. It's just like, yeah. It's a really pretty campus. I mean, it was really rainy when I went, but it was really fun.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Aubrey, and thank you, panel. We'll give you a second to finish your notes and feedback. And again, as Ryan said, the first round, it's not a requirement, but if you have